A large number of children grow up with imaginary friends. It's a normal part of childhood and most parents don't think much of it. But sometimes, things don't stay so innocent. This TikTok video was posted on January 27th, 2026 by a man named Nicholas Faria. In it, he approaches his young daughter who appears to be talking to someone who isn't there. At first, it seems like a harmless moment. Then this happens.
Decile que traiga el coche, decile. Le dice que traiga el coche. No.
The girl begins calling out to her imaginary friend, asking it to push the stroller sitting nearby on the sidewalk. And just seconds later, the stroller starts moving. There's no one visible touching it. It simply begins rolling forward on its own as if something responded to her request. Moments like this are often interpreted as a child interacting with something unseen. The idea that imaginary friends might not always be imaginary. At the same time, there could be a simpler explanation. The stroller may have been on a slight incline, causing it to roll naturally, or it could have been nudged just out of frame. It's also possible the scene was staged to line up with what the girl was saying. What makes the clip stand out is the timing. She asks, and almost immediately, something happens.
This chilling footage comes from the YouTube channel Swamp Valley, where Sky usually documents his outdoor adventures, testing gear, practicing bushcraft, and exploring the wilderness. His videos are normally calm and skill-focused, but on this particular day, his trip took a dark and terrifying turn. On October 21st, 2019, Sky set out on a backpacking trip into the nearby woodland. The plan was simple. He and his two friends would spend the night out in the wilderness. He arrived at the trailhead, shouldered his backpack, and began the hike into the woodland. The air was crisp, the forest quiet except for the crunch of leaves under his boots, as he made his way toward the spot where he and his friends planned to set up camp.
Alright, so I'm in Lanfine Estate and heading up to go meet Colin and Sam. They've already got to the camp and just gonna go have a little fire, chill out, should be good. Stay tuned. Beautiful up here. We're getting there. Hell of a walk up here. It's uphill for about 2 miles, but worth it though.
As he ventured deeper, the atmosphere began to change. The stillness felt unnatural, the air growing heavy with a tension he couldn't quite place. That's when he noticed it. Movement in the distance, subtle but deliberate. Someone was following him.
Right, I don't want to sound like a big pansy. This is really freaking me out. Somebody is actually following me and it's freaky, man. Like, who the hell is that? Not messing about with that guy. Right, I'm gonna walk faster.
Sky picked up his pace, hoping to shake off whoever was trailing him. Every step he took, the person followed, always keeping just enough distance. The unsettling truth gnawed at him. Someone was watching his every move. Their intentions unclear, their presence unrelenting. He veered off the trail, changed his route, yet each time he glanced over his shoulder, there it was, lingering quietly behind him.
So I just bloody call this. Where'd he go? I'm gonna hide. Alright, let's see how good he is in the woods. How the hunted become the hunter.
When the figure slipped from view, Sky made a risky choice. Instead of running, he decided to turn predator himself, hiding in behind the tree, waiting to stalk the stalker. Maybe then he could uncover the truth. Why was he following him? But this wasn't a game of courage. By doing so, Sky had unknowingly stepped into far greater danger than he imagined.
He's heading up to where Colin and Sam are. Fucking shaking, man.
Sky forced himself closer, determined to confront the stalker. But when the figure came into view, his blood turned cold. The man wasn't just watching, he was building a fire in the middle of the woods. And then, without warning, the stalker was gone. Sky's hands shook as he reached for his phone to call his friends. And that's when something truly unsettling happened.
Oh, fucking hell! Jesus! Fucking hell! Oh, fucking hell! The fuck! Fucking! Jesus fucking! Get fucking burned! Fucking river! Fucking river! Oh, it fucking stinks.
Out of nowhere, the person lunged from the woods, clutching a container of gasoline. Sky froze as the liquid splashed at his feet. Panic surged through Sky. This wasn't a prank. It was an attempt to burn him alive. Heart racing, he bolted into the woods, the stalker crashing after him, firelight chasing through the woods. In that moment, the danger was undeniable. Sky's life was hanging by a thread. He sprinted through the forest until the stalker's presence finally vanished behind. Thankfully, Sky had survived the encounter, but survival came with a price. The memory of being hunted, of fire meant to consume him, would haunt him forever. What began as a quiet backpacking trip twisted into a brush with death. A night where one simple camping trip nearly became his last.
7th, 2016, Josh uploaded a video that he never expected would become the most haunting experience of his cave exploration journey. At first, the plan was simple. Enter Ape Cave, a well-known lava tube beneath Mount St. Helens, where people believe that with enough lights and cameras, you can safely make your way back out. But caves don't follow human logic. The deeper they went, the weaker the light became. The temperature dropped quickly. The ceiling lowered to the point where they had to crouch and crawl close to the ground. Some passages were so tight that even a small mistake could mean there was no way back. And then, just when everyone believed the expedition was over, the most chilling moment appeared.
But this is the end?
This is the end. There's a wall now.
There's no freaking... So we made it to the end of the tunnel without backing down, everyone.
Yep. You would probably have to dig down.
If we had a couple spoons, we might be able to shiver our way more in.
Yeah, 'cause some spoons we needed.
I can't believe we made it. Yeah, I was gonna turn back. I was like, no, we gotta keep going. But we made it to the very end.
Yeah, you never know what you can find.
That's sick.
And this is pretty cool. This is
this
this is like our own hideout right
This
now.
is our hideout. No one else would even come here, so this is definitely a secret spot. Our new secret spot. We have the secret beach and now this. Okay. Got it. Can I head back now? This girl doesn't have a flashlight. Okay, I'm gonna take out my phone actually. English?
I don't know
You
if
speak English? No English.
No?
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, come with us.
Hey Josh, do you see those the couple that was back there?
You wanna come
Can
with
you
us?
tell them their daughter's up here and she's scared?
They don't speak. She doesn't speak
She doesn't
English.
speak
They don't
English.
speak English.
It's okay.
It's alright. This is the way back.
No one knew how, but a little girl had crawled deep into the cave. No flashlight, no experience, no protective gear, just her alone in the cold darkness. Surrounded by narrow passages that could collapse at any moment, the group had no choice but to stop, guide her back out, and help search for her parents, who were somewhere in the cave, calling out her name in panic in their own language.
What an experience. As we were about to leave, this little girl comes up out of nowhere, scares us, and at first we're like, wait, whose parents are hers? And she was just there alone by herself. Then she just stood there in the back, so I started talking to her, but she wouldn't answer me. And I was like, wait a minute, I don't think she speaks English. It turns out she really didn't speak English at all. She's by herself, crawled the whole way in there by herself, no light. No light, what the heck? I don't get it, no light.
And the most haunting thought is the one no one wants to face. If they hadn't found her, what would her fate have been?
Encounter comes from a YouTube channel called NVTV, a channel dedicated to sharing mysterious clips and alleged sightings of cryptids and Bigfoot. On March 4th, 2022, they uploaded a video that showed a mysterious footage captured by a camper who vanished in 2017 in Oregon. The footage was captured by Chase Hove, a seasoned outdoorsman who often sought refuge in nature, finding peace through camping in the wilderness. But on this night, that peace would turn into something far more sinister. The recording begins with Chase setting up his campsite deep in the forests of Oregon. He films his tent, his gear, and the spot where he planned to spend the night.
Alright, well, it may seem like a bit much, but here I am solo camping. This is Deschutes, Oregon. Well, close to Bend, Oregon. But this is BLM land. It's not in the city. A little bit off the normal traveled area, but I mean, you can tell people come back here and shoot stuff. I can hear people shooting right now over that direction. There's a popular shooting spot probably 3 or 4 miles that way. But for being secluded, this is one hell of a spot. I brought the 8-person tent, or the 6-person tent. I haven't pulled this thing out in a long time, so I thought first of the season I should pull that out, give it a go. See if it's all dried out and make sure it's clean. Might get a fire going later. Keep you guys updated. I'll make sure to include in the description how to get out here. It's kind of a cool spot for anybody who's interested. There is kind of a creepy little creation right there, if you can see. Somebody made a teepee. Then a bit more handmade. Looks like there's a little bit of a grave too. Crazy if I found a body. Well, there's a lot of flies. It's not gonna mess with it. Must have really wanted to dump their trash. Save a few bucks. Oh yeah. People dumping their trash over here.
Everything appeared normal, except for a strange structure made from charred sticks, arranged in a way that looked eerily sinister. Yet Chase seemed completely unfazed and continued his camping without thinking much of it.
Whatever. Anyway, look at this. Damn. They must have had their fire going inside of here. It's kind of eerie. Hope they don't come back for a seance or some sort of satanic meeting tonight while I'm camping. It's about that time. Sun is setting. Now I can't pick up too much of the color on this cheap camera, but it does pretty well in the light. And in the dark, I mean. But sun's setting, it's about 8 o'clock. Should be dark out here in less than an hour. You can get a little bit over there through the trees. Beautiful night. Definitely going to be turning in early though.
Suddenly, the footage cuts to Chase, jolted awake in the middle of the night by strange, unsettling sounds coming from outside his tent. His breathing turns uneasy as he grips the camera, completely unaware that this night would soon take a deadly turn.
I've been woken up by these goddamn noises. Yeah, you can hear it. It's up from that side. Sounds right outside the tent. There's someone right outside the tent. That can't be. That's us. That's someone's messing around with the rocks out there. Jesus Christ. Leave me alone!
Suddenly, the fabric began to move, as if something was trying to reach inside. Terrified, Chase quickly scrambled out of the tent for safety. He looked around, desperate to see what was causing the disturbance.
Flashlight. I can't see a goddamn thing outside this night vision. Jesus Christ. I don't know where the chased me off. I'm wandering the goddamn darkness. Flashlight. Okay. Who did this? Jesus Christ.
A pale, white figure suddenly emerged in the darkness before him. It resembled a skinwalker with long limbs, unlike any human or animal. The moment lasted only a second before Chase stumbled, dropping his camera. The footage cuts off abruptly, leaving behind more questions than answers. But what exactly happened remains a chilling mystery. His camera and belongings were later discovered at the campsite, but he himself was never found. No updates have ever surfaced since. Some viewers believe Chase had encountered a creature that night. Others suggest it may have been a person lurking in the woods. Whatever it was, one thing is certain. It turned deadly. And that night, his peaceful trip into the wilderness became his last.
The first video we'll be looking at was posted to TikTok by a user known as Globalist Slayer USA on February 1st, 2026, and shows a strange moment captured on a home security camera late at night. The footage shows a quiet backyard covered in snow. Right from the start, you can already see a series of footprints scattered across the ground, but then something even stranger happens. As the video continues, a new set of footprints begins to appear, forming one after another, as if something invisible is actively walking through the yard. What makes it even more unusual is the spacing. These newer prints have a much wider gait. suggesting something significantly larger than a normal person. It's a subtle detail, but once you notice it, it completely changes how the clip feels. The uploader even used the hashtag Bigfoot, suggesting they believe these tracks could belong to something far from ordinary. For those who believe, this could point to something unseen physically moving through the environment, leaving behind tracks without ever being visible. Another possibility is that whatever is making the footprints simply isn't being picked up properly by the camera, blending into the background due to lighting or recording limitations. It could also be the result of editing, with the footprints added in afterward to create the illusion. It's the progression that stands out the most, not just the footprints themselves, but the fact that new ones appear, as if something is actively moving through the yard in real time. Imagine coming home after a long day, pulling into your driveway and noticing something across the street that immediately makes you stop and stare. That's exactly what happened to this woman, as shown in a TikTok video posted by user Little Miss Bella 3. The clip begins with her pulling into her driveway and stepping out of her car. As she locks the door, something catches her attention across the street, and she just stands there watching. On the other side of the road, a person wearing what appears to be a headlamp can be seen moving around on all fours. Their movements are erratic and unnatural, almost animal-like, as they crawl and shift positions in a way that's difficult to make sense of. They continue behaving strangely for several moments, never acknowledging the person filming. At first glance, the way this figure moves feels deeply unsettling, like something pretending to be a human, but not quite getting it right. It could also just be a person acting oddly, possibly under the influence, or simply behaving in a way that doesn't make much sense from the outside. But it's the unpredictability that makes this clip stick. There's no context or no explanation, just someone moving in a way you don't expect to see.
Sophie is a camper from Denmark who documents her solo trips across Scandinavia. Her channel is built around nature, quiet forests, long wilderness hikes, and nights spent alone under open skies. Much of it is about self-reliance, proving to herself that she can handle being alone. And in this video, that challenge is pushed further than ever before. For the first time, Sophie chooses to spend the night alone in an open wood shelter deep in the forest.
Today my plan is to stay here in this wood shelter. We have quite a lot of these permanent wood shelters all around Denmark, and they have become very popular to camp in because you don't need to bring a tent, you just need to bring a sleeping pad and a sleeping bag, and then you have this lovely campsite where you can spend the night.
The shelter sits uncomfortably close to Copenhagen's main airport. Every 5 minutes, a plane roars overhead, tearing through the silence. It isn't the peaceful wilderness people imagine, but it's still forest, and that's what matters to her. After gathering firewood and settling in, Sophie begins her evening routine. She builds a fire and cooks a simple, traditional Danish camping meal, hot dogs with homemade bread wrapped around a stick. As she cooks, the sun sinks lower, the temperature drops, the forest darkens, and the mood slowly changes.
Hot dog number 2. This ended up being quite a late dinner, but it was very good. 2 hot dogs. Now I'm full. Oh, I actually could have eaten one more, but 2 was enough.
The video never explains the lights. They appear once while she's eating, then return 2 more times later. Sophie never mentions them. She doesn't react, but the camera captures them clearly, quiet, distant, out of place.
And now the forest is starting to make a lot of sounds. I don't know what it is. As soon as it gets dark, all sounds just becomes a little bit scary. I have no idea if you can hear this on the camera, but there are these big, like, branches snapping or breaking in that direction. And now there's an airplane, so you probably can't hear it. But I'm just, I get a tiny bit scared whenever I hear that sound. But it's probably just a deer or something. I actually did see a deer on my way here when I was biking. It was laying just besides the path, and I scared it biking, so it jumped off and ran. Now I can hear some people talking in that direction. But I mean, we are very close to the city, and a lot of people are using this forest area. And most people are nice, so I don't think there's anything to be worried about, even though my brain can run off. And now my flashlight is flickering as if the battery is low.
Despite everything, the lights, the strange sounds, the voices in the distance, the flashlight slowly failing, Sophie chooses to stay. She arranges her sleeping bag with the opening facing outward, so she can see into the darkness if something moves. By morning, she's still there. She made it through the night. She proved to herself that she could camp alone in an open shelter on a weekday and still make it to work the next morning, even with everything that happened after dark. But the questions remain. Those lights, their timing, their silence. So what do you think they were? And have you ever experienced something like that while camping alone?